Chapter of Celestial Cultivation, Article 2, The Classification and Realms of Celestials. Xiefeng. 2005 August 26, Harare. Just as humans have different levels of character and virtue, celestials also have different grades. Similarly, among plants, some blossom and bear fruit while others do not, some produce sweet fruit, while others bear sour ones, some have deep roots and lush foliage, while others have shallow roots and sparse leaves, some grow tall, while others remain short, some bloom with fragrant flowers, while others produce scentless blossoms. Humans can perceive the diversity of plants, just as gods can see the myriad states of human beings. Only by standing atop the highest peak can one overlook the majestic mountains, only by reaching the highest realm can one observe the boundless variety of human existence, only by traversing the 36-dimensional spaces can one comprehend the classifications and realms of celestials. Failing to perceive differences does not mean that differences do not exist, it simply indicates that one's level of awareness is too low. A person sitting at the bottom of a well cannot see the vast blue sky. This is not because the sky lacks vastness, but because their vision is limited. Denying the wonders of the universe and the infinite levels of life based on one's constrained perspective is ignorance. Trying to define the boundless dimensions of time and space and the infinite wisdom of the cosmos through one's own ignorance is foolishness. 99% of humanity lives in ignorance and foolishness. 95% of people have closed hearts and remain unconscious in their awareness. That is why Jesus said that few people find the gate to true life, and even fewer manage to enter it. The broad road is the worldly path, the path that the masses walk leads to death. Only those who squeeze through the narrow gate and endure the arduous journey along a rugged trail may glimpse the dawn of life. In the end, they will ascend the perilous peak of life and enter an even vaster realm of existence. Celestial beings are classified into 5 types: ghost celestials, human celestials, land celestials, deity celestials, and super celestials. The Chinese nation is unique, producing countless saints, sages, and great hermits beyond the reach of Western Nobel laureates. The ability to perceive meridians and acupoints with clarity, the mastery of refining essence into energy, refining energy into spirit, and refining spirit into emptiness, as well as the profound insight into the unity of heaven and man, beyond the comprehension of spirits and ghosts, are beyond the imagination of ordinary people. The classification of celestials has long been well understood by sages of the past. In my exploration of the origins of the universe, I found that my predecessors had already reached the peak of understanding. When I traversed the 36 celestial spaces and observed the forms and qualities of life across various spaces, I realized that ancient saints had already drawn definitive conclusions. For instance, regarding the classification of celestials, one great hermit once said, "Those who are purely spiritual and formless are ghost celestials. Those who live long lives without illness in the mortal world are human celestials. Those who can fly through the mist, remain free from hunger and thirst, unaffected by heat and cold, and roam the islands while attaining eternal life are land celestials. Those who can change form, appear and disappear unpredictably, take on various ages, and possess divine wisdom beyond the comprehension of ghosts, spirits, and even diviners are super celestials. Those who refine primordial energy into the primordial spirit, attain supernatural powers, and become immune to water and fire are deity celestials." The words of the saints hold true. In more detail, the types of celestials and their corresponding realms are as follows. Ghost celestials. Ghost celestials exist between the yin and yang spaces, beyond the range of human vision. Thus, they are considered formless. However, from their own perspective, they do not perceive themselves as formless. This is similar to what has been observed in near-death experiences studied by Western scientists. When people temporarily die, meaning their souls leave their bodies, they can clearly see their own physical form surrounded by doctors and loved ones. They even feel that their facial features, bodies, and hair remain intact. Thus, the formlessness of ghost celestials is only relative to human vision, not an actual loss of form. In the 36-dimensional spaces, within the 5-dimensional space between yin and yang, I once described. The third type of people are those who often dwell in obsessive thoughts or die unexpectedly in the prime of life. Because they are unprepared and still deeply attached to the material world, they resist moving on. Their wishes remain unfulfilled, and they are unwilling to leave. However, their physical bodies have already perished, and without a material vessel, their spiritual bodies wander aimlessly between the yin and yang spaces. Some cases of spirit possession are caused by these lingering souls. Those who die with unresolved grievances are also prone to lingering in this space. Ghost celestials are essentially what people commonly refer to as ghosts. Benevolent ghosts can be considered ghost celestials. Even harmful ghosts have specific reasons for their actions. There is always a cause and effect relationship. As long as one maintains a clear conscience, ghosts will never harm them. As the saying goes, if you have done nothing wrong, you have nothing to fear from ghosts knocking at your door. Ghost celestials do not linger indefinitely in the yin-yang space. Some quickly recover and return to their bodies, while others swiftly reincarnate. That is why it is important to treat the deceased with kindness. Offering comfort, burning paper money, and speaking words of reassurance can help them move on more quickly. Human celestials. Human celestials are saints in the mortal world. They understand the principles of existence, are free from worldly desires, practice non-action, wu-wei, transcend conventional norms, and maintain physical and mental well-being. They do not possess supernatural abilities but have seen through the illusions of the mortal world. They are detached from concepts such as nations, ethnicities, families, political parties, and religions. They take things as they are, acting in accordance with their intrinsic nature, and seize opportunities as they arise. Human celestials do not participate in any religious or political organizations, as they do not wish to be bound, nor do they seek to bind others. They enjoy the company of kindred spirits but avoid interactions with worldly people. Wealth, status, and fame mean nothing to them, nor do they concern themselves with success or failure, gain or loss. To them, all these things are fleeting clouds. Land celestials. Land celestials possess supernatural abilities or profound mastery of Taoist arts. They can benefit both humanity and themselves. They communicate seamlessly with both humans and spirits, moving freely without restrictions. Figures such as Hua Tuo, Sun Simiao, Bien Ke, and Taoist masters with profound spiritual attainments are land celestials. Land celestials excel in the art of health preservation. Many teachings in the Lifechanyuan health preservation chapter originate from the wisdom of land celestials. Their insights include principles from the Compendium of Heart and Mind Healing, such as all things are exhausted by movement and nourished by stillness. Stillness is the dwelling place of the spirit. Without tranquility, one cannot reach distant goals. Stillness breeds wisdom, movement breeds confusion. It is the spirit that gives me life, it is the mind that brings me death. When still, the roots deepen and flourish, when in motion, the stem is uprooted and withers. The 8 steps of cultivating stillness are: do not give rise to anger, do not give rise to arrogance, do not indulge in absurdity, be moderate in desires, moderate in labor, be cautious in speech, abstain from killing, and benefit others. Including the 8 mind methods in my intermediate cultivation. Calm the mind, stop the mind, govern the mind, correct the mind, humble the mind, settle the mind, purify the mind, and transcend the mind. These are the defining characteristics of land celestials. They have cultivated themselves to the point where they no longer experience hunger or thirst, remain unaffected by heat and cold, travel freely among islands, and attain mastery over life and death. Deity celestials. Deity celestials do not belong to human society. They can traverse space-time tunnels at will, moving freely between heaven, the human world, and the underworld. They possess divine abilities and can undergo limitless transformations. Sun Wukong from the mythological novel Journey to the West, before attaining true enlightenment, is a living example of a deity celestial. He had 72 transformations, could ride clouds and mist, and a single somersault spanned 54,000 kilometers. Deity celestials have no fixed abode, both heaven and earth are their home. They can shrink to the size of a subatomic particle or expand as vast as a mountain. They can enter the molecular world to tour mountains and rivers, or kick celestial bodies as if they were mere balls. To understand the realm of deity celestials, one can refer to the stories in Journey to the West and the Investiture of the Gods. Perhaps you think these are mere myths, but in reality, they are not. As long as one masters the key to cultivation, this state can be attained. The biggest challenge is that no historical human records contain the secret to cultivating into a deity celestial. Such secrets will never be written down, they can only be grasped through innate wisdom and deep enlightenment. Super Celestials. Super Celestials represent the highest realm that humans can attain. Their base is on the Celestial Islands continent of the Elysium world. In my description of the Celestial Islands continent, UE, the master of Snow Peak Island, serves as an example of a super celestial. The revered Guanyin Bodhisattva is also a super celestial, as are angels in Western culture. A super celestial is essentially a Buddha, but with a key difference: while Buddhas still bear certain constraints, super celestials are entirely free. Buddhas have duties and responsibilities, whereas super celestials have none whatsoever. The defining characteristic of a super celestial is the absolute freedom to indulge in joy and play as they please. Once one becomes a Buddha, there are still higher realms to ascend to, but once one attains the state of a super celestial, they have reached the ultimate limit of life. These concepts are far beyond the scope of human wisdom. The more I explain, the more elusive and incomprehensible they may seem, eventually turning into what some might consider incoherent rambling. The higher the level of wisdom and consciousness a being possesses, the more mythical it appears. Human celestials and land celestials are closely related to humans, making them relatively easier to comprehend. The realm of deity celestials is still within the bounds of imagination, but the realm of super celestials is purely mythical. All of these mysteries are embedded within the profound secrets of life itself. The 36-8 trigram arrays set by the greatest creator are incredibly difficult to break or decipher, primarily because they lie beyond our imagination. Since we cannot conceive of them, we assume they are fabricated illusions, mere fantasies conjured out of thin air. As the saying goes, the enlightened see the essence, while the unenlightened watch the spectacle. If you expect me to instantly reveal the secrets of enlightenment, that's simply out of the question.